Ooh. Ooh.
Are you hoarding my gnomes? Are you hoarding my gnomes?
My hoard.
Are you trying to tell me something?
No.
Are you going to tell them something?
Yes.
What are you going to tell them?
Welcome to crashing my hoard.
Crashing your hoard?
Welcome to crafting my hoard.
There you go. That's a little bit better. And are you stealing my gnomes now?
They're my hoard.
They're your hoard of gnomes?
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
All right. Enjoy, everybody.
Bye.
Bye.
Alright, guys. So, crafting our hoard, hosted by Sunflower Tasha and Joanne's DIY Life. This is hosted every last Friday of the month, and we are going to get right into it. I, for one, project number 1, by the way, I, for one, have so many socks and gnome beards and stuff like that, and I've been kind of neglecting on doing a few, and I know that I got a bunch of people out there that really like my gnomes. I've even had some people out there that aren't a big fan but love mine. I don't know exactly how much that works, but anyway, this one is an older one. This one I actually did before Christmas, but I'm gonna throw it in here because I've had it recorded. So I'm actually going to show you how I did the body. There's a few of them on here that I show how to do the body, and then there's a few of them here I just skip through that because it's kind of self-explanatory. I pour in, this one I use poly beads. The rest of them I use rice, just because rice is easy and cheap, and it's cheaper to find on hand. So this one we actually made for one of my husband's old co-workers. She liked German Shepherds, and so we made it for her. So this is where the idea of that came from. I was trying my darndest to try to make it with the colors of a German Shepherd, trying to go with a German Shepherd, kind of that concept. So that's where I'm kind of going with that. So I kind of try to look up colors and variations of German Shepherds. Of course, there's other colors of German Shepherds. The most common I saw was the black, light brown, tan color. So I kind of went with a tan because I had more tan than I did brown, or black, I mean. So I kind of went with that. I didn't want him just be black, so I went with that, and we're gonna kind of put like a brown spot on his back, because I know a lot of them have the big brown spot on the back of their coat. So that's kind of where I went with that. That's why I'm showing you this. His beard has kind of a variation of a whole bunch of different colors. It has kind of like a black brown hue of it. I did end up painting a bead black, and then I found this in my stash, and I thought I had one, and then I was like going through my stash and I found it. This I actually got from a thrift store in just a bundle pack of a bunch of junk for like $1. It's actually a doll nose, but it's a puppy doll nose. Like you would make a doll out of whatever you're having. And then I was like, oh my gosh, I need to use this for this. So I just kind of glued a little bit down and kind of stuck that down into his fur. And then glued his little hat down to the top of it. And then we're going to kind of just stuff his hat. I did glue his hat down and back. I didn't talk too much about when I was making the body, But when you're tying that off, I usually use rubber bands. Also, make sure that you're tying that off with some jute twine or some ribbon or something, because rubber bands tend to dry rot over time and stuff. So if you're making this for somebody and you're going to plan on selling them or giving it away as a gift or something, you don't want it to eventually burst open in, several years or whatever the case is. So make sure that you are going through and tying that down. So this, I'm actually using a old belt. This is from actually a previous project a long time ago when we had the Just Our Imagination, when we had to use a belt. I just cut a piece off and I'm painting it like a very light pink, and we're going to use that as his tongue. So I kind of did that. Here I'm going in with some white felt, and I was like, he just needs a little embellishment on his hat. So I just cut that off. I'm just going to use this and just cut a little bone, basically. And then after I got that all done, we're going to just glue the little bone down to his little hat. Now, I got some felt. This one actually has a backing on it. It's got sticky. Like it's a double-sided. It has another sticky part to it. This is the first time I ever used this, but I really like this stuff. It's thicker, first of all. So I'm cutting out 2 pieces of this. I'm kind of rounding off the edges a little bit, trying to get my my length to where it will work. This is where we're going to kind of just make his ears. So we're kind of going for the dark color for the back, and then we're going to kind of go for the light for the inside. Maybe it's the other way around. Maybe I went for light on the other side and dark on the inside. I think that's what I did. So we're just kind of cutting 2 pieces around, and then I go in with another piece of felt. We're going to take off that one piece there, and we're going to stick it right down. And we're just going to basically cut around this piece of felt now to kind of give it that extra edge. I was going to say, I'm pretty sure I don't show you all of this. Maybe I do. I could have sworn I cut some of this out. I apologize, guys. But I'm basically going to be... Okay, I do cut some of it out. So I do basically the same thing to this other one here. I basically just going around the very, very edge of it. Make sure that I'm not cutting the darker brown, but making sure that I have plenty of the edge, and make sure they're about the same length and all that stuff. And here is kind of where I have to kind of try to line up where I'm going to go. I'm just going to put a line of glue right in the edge of our little ear here, and we're just going to stick that down. And now this is where I realized that I didn't tie off the top of my hat here, so I grabbed a piece of ribbon. This one I've had in my stash for a long time. It has little paw prints on it, so it was perfect for this thing. This is where I also say make sure that you're tying off your rubber bands with either jute twine or ribbon, because you don't want it to dry rot. Anyway, so here I'm going to just glue down this other ear, just trying to kind of give a good space and make sure everything's stick down really good. And for the most part, that looks pretty good. Now, I don't have a final reveal with him in with everything else, because again, that was before Christmas. I do have a picture of it though. But we're going to move on to DIY number 2 or project number 2. And like I said, guys, I have a bunch of socks, guys, and we're just going to kind of make some characters. This one I went for a Minnie Mouse one. This one is going to be a little bit different though, because some of these that have characters on them, they if you use the cuff of the sock like I usually do, they're usually upside down, and I don't always like that version of it. So we are going to make our own cuff on our sock here. So I'm just cutting out how much I want. This is going to be our hat. I am going to show you the body one more time. This one again was with rice, and then after this one I won't show it no more, but this one I'll kind of talk you through it a little bit more. So I'm pouring in my rice, and then I'm going to cut like right where the heel is, or right above the heel. It's going to kind of depend on how big or how tall or how chubby you want your gnome. So I'm going to tie it off with some rubber bands. If you want to just do jute twine, you're more than welcome to do that, but make sure that it is secure and tight. So here I tied it off with rubber bands, and then I tied it off with jute twine just so I know I can get it really tight. So here I am going to glue down, and I'm going to basically tuck in my edge of my sock. I'm just going to roll over the edge a little bit. It's not as clean and it don't look as nice as the regular cuff of the sock, of course, but it does work. I always do prefer to use the cuff of the sock, but if it's upside down, I just think that this looks a lot better in my opinion. So because Minnie is a girl, we have to go with a girl gnome. Just my process on this. So I'm actually cutting one of my beards in half, and we're going to make pigtails out of this. So I'm just gluing one of these, and we're kind of just basically halving one of my beards, and I'm just putting glue down, and we're pinching the two sides together basically, and just making little pigtail ponies. So this is a little pet dress that I have in my stash as well. My husband's sister, my sister-in-law, actually got this for our dog, and she way overthought that, you know, because we have a smaller dog, that it's going to be a smaller dress. Did not fit her from the very get-go, so I just put it in my stash to craft with because it didn't even fit halfway through her. So it was definitely way too small. So I am going to use this as my mini gnome dress. So I'm just cutting basically, I just cut basically the bottom of it off the pink ruffle. And I'm just basically going to wrap this around her. I do tuck this one little edge in just to make it look a little bit more refined, I guess. And then we're just going to line it up here in the back and just glue it down. I'm not worried so much about the top of it because that's all going to be covered up by the hat. So you won't see any of that anyway. The hat will cover all of that up. So this is our little mini gnome. And we're going to stick her little piggy tails in there, and that's kind of the way she's going to end up looking. Kind of gives you an idea here. So now we're going to glue down our little pigtails. We're just putting a line of glue down kind of the edge of where that the two pieces met. You kind of see where the two pieces meet there, and I'm just doing the line of glue all the way down, and then we're going to just stick it down there. I'm going to pull the hat down and back, and then we're going to make sure that that all sticks down really well. I usually do this if I'm not, especially if I'm not going to do any arms on them. I usually do this right away because if I'm going to stuff the hat will actually end up coming up. So here we're going to add our little nose. I usually do, if I have a bead, a regular bead, you can get ones that don't have the bead holes, just like the regular wooden balls. You can get those certain places, but if you're gonna get ones with bead holes in them, you stick the first bead hole down on your gnome or in the beard, and then you put a little dab of glue on the other bead hole, and then you put the hat right over top. And here we're tying off the hat after we stuff it, and then we're going to tie it off with a little bit of ribbon. And then I decided that I was going to grab a little bit of rubber bands, and we are going to tie off her little pigtails down here at the bottom, just to kind of give her a little bit of a finishing touch. And there she is. Project number 3. So now we had Minnie. We need Mickey. So I did the same thing with the body. We're going to kind of skip through that. You know, rice, sock, cut, whatever, all that stuff. I picked this beard out. We're going to stick that right down, glue it down good. And then we got some of these socks. We got the little red ones. These ones didn't bother me so bad because they were all in different, like they were kind of all over the place, like up, down, sideways, whatever. So this one I was okay using the cuff. So we just stuck it on his little head, and I'm going to glue down on the back. And then we're going to lift up his little rim of his hat here, move out the beard, glue down his little nose, and then glue down right where that other bead hole is, and we're going to put the hat rim right down on top of that little dab of glue. And now we're going to stuff his hat with some more polyfill. And now we're going to tie it off with jute twine and rubber band and all that. And I'm going to actually tie it off in a cute little bow. And that was all for that one. Project number 4. So this one I chose kind of a striped sock for the body. And I found strawberry shortcake socks in my stash. So I was like, okay, let's go for it. I was kind of on a strawberry shortcake kick anyway, so let's play around with it. So this one again, with the character, she would have been upside down if I would have went with the cuff of the sock. So we're going to cut the bottom of the sock off, and we're going to flip it on around. I am also going to make our own cuff. So we're just going to basically glue and fold basically around the rim of our little opened area here that I'm making. This one actually showed a little bit better because it was, I felt like it was a little bit closer and everything. So now that we got this flipped forward, now we're gonna glue our little beard on. I did make this a guy gnome. I just kind of went with it. I really liked this beard. It kind of brought out some of the pinks colors in the sock. I could have went with red as well, but I didn't have a red and white, which I thought would have really been better if I would have had like a lighter red and white. I had like a burgundy, and I didn't really want to go burgundy, but I liked this. It kind of brought out like the pinks, so I liked where I went with this one. Here I'm going to stuff down, I'm going to glue down the hat. He got a little chubby, but it was cute. he just got fed up on strawberry shortcake. We're just gonna go with that. So here I'm stuffing his little hat, and we're gonna lift up his little hat rim, and we're gonna glue right down on that little bead hole, and then glue that one down, and then put that little rim down right on top of that little nose. And then we're going to grab our rubber bands again and tie this off. And then with this one, I actually took some baker's twine because it had the red and white, and I'm going to tie this off in a pretty little ribbon and made sure it nice and tight. And I made sure it was a cute little bow and everything on top of there. And that was pretty much all I did to that one. And then project number 5. I believe this is our last one. I actually found, okay, well, we're going to start with the gnome beard here. So of course I did the same thing. I did kind of a tan body with this one. We're going to glue down the beard. This one was kind of like a grayish color. Very nice. Again, we're going to go with a little bit of a cuff. I do believe I cut some of the cuff out because, again, you don't need to see it again. But we're going to make our own cuff once again on it. So of course, I saw these and I had to get these. This kind of just reminds me, we used to have the game when we were kids. Operation is a classic, and this is probably I think my husband said it was his favorite. He's a Gen X. I'm more millennial, but I grew up with a Gen X brother, so we kind of had a little bit more similarities with that kind of grow up relation thing. I think I'm more of a Zennial, if anything, but it doesn't matter. So we're gonna basically do the same thing. I wish I would have actually made his nose red. After I did this, I was like, I should have made his nose red like the clown on the hat. I think it would have been really cute. And if I would have had little tweezers, I would have actually put hands on him or arms on him and made him hold like little tweezers in his arms. But I don't have that kind of stuff here. I would have loved to have done that, but he still turned out absolutely adorable. And right now, guys, we are on the final reveal. Like I said, I had a picture of the little dog, the little I'm drawing a blank now, German Shepherd that I made for the lady, and then here are all of our 4 gnomes that I made for you guys today, and I hope you guys enjoyed all of these. It was fun. It was fun to go and create the gnomes again. It was something that I brought out of my stash that I had so much, and I have so much more, guys. I could make gnomes for days. So if you guys have a request, let me know and I can make it for you. But definitely go check everybody else out the playlist. Give them some love. Go check out everybody. Go check out the hosts. And I will see you guys all in the next one. God bless you all. Love you all, and I will see you guys all in the next one. I will try to have one out on the 1st of the month. Bye!